Hello and welcome, dear viewers. In this video, we'll see how to create a drawing and animate a system using pulleys and belts. We'll demonstrate it through a simple example: a basketball player throwing the ball. After that, you can apply this animation technique in any context you like, such as in physics, mechanics, or other educational fields. We'll start by drawing a circle with a diameter of approximately 4 centimeters. After filling it with yellow, for example, we convert it into a 3D shape using the following dimensions: top bevel width, 35 points, and height, 24 points. Next, we add some small lines, or even dots, which will later help us visualize the rotation of the pulley. These markers make the spinning motion easier to observe during the animation. Let's not forget to add the pulley's axis by drawing a small circle at the center and then giving it a 3D shape as well. This central axis will serve as the pivot point for the pulley's rotation. After assembling all the parts of the pulley, we make a copy on the same level by pressing Ctrl plus Shift. This allows us to duplicate the pulley while keeping it aligned perfectly. As for the belt, it's enough to add a thick black line in the background with a thickness of 20 points. Then, by placing a dashed line on top of it with a thickness of 8 points, it gives the impression of a toothed belt. This time, its length will be 34 centimeters, since it's meant to be moving. The dashed line should be placed between the pulley and the black line. And since the background is white, the dashed line will disappear as it slides and will only be visible when it's over the black line. Just like we did earlier with the pulley, we create a copy of the two lines on the same level by pressing Ctrl plus Shift. This ensures both sides of the belt remain aligned and symmetrical during the animation. To animate the pulleys, we go to the Animations tab, then select Spin. Next, we adjust the repeat setting in the timing panel for both pulleys by holding Ctrl and set it to Until End of Slide. This will keep the pulleys spinning continuously throughout the entire animation. To animate the belt, we go to Animations, then to Motion Paths, and select Lines. After slowing down the movement to 7 seconds, we adjust the repeat option in the timing panel by holding Ctrl and set it to Until End of Slide. Don't forget to disable Smooth Start and Smooth End. Finally, we copy these animation settings to the second belt as well. This gives us a great result for the most important part of the scene, along with the ball animation, which we'll see shortly. But before that, let's add some visual elements to furnish the scene, like the supporting pillars for the pulleys. These can be rounded rectangles. Then, from Shape Effects, we choose Bevel, Round to give them a 3D appearance. As usual, we duplicate the shape by pressing Ctrl plus Shift. This adds realism and structure to our animation. After that, we select all and make a copy using the Control key in order to create a second conveyor system. To insert the ball, we go to Insert, then select 3D Models, followed by Stock 3D Models. From there, we choose the Sports category, and after selecting the ball, we click Insert. This gives us a fully rotatable 3D object to animate later. You can adjust the length of the conveyor system as needed. Simply select the belt, then go to the line's length settings and enter 18 centimeters, which works better for showcasing the ball's movement later on. And of course, don't forget to reposition the pulleys by using the magic key, Shift, which keeps them perfectly aligned on the same level. After placing the pulleys in the correct position, we move on to the second stage of animation, animating the ball. This movement consists of 3 main actions: bounce, spin, and roll. First, we apply the bounce effect from the entrance animations. Then, we add a spin effect from the emphasis section and make sure both animations run simultaneously. Next, we select the ball again, go to Motion Path, and choose Lines to make the ball roll along the conveyor system. Then, we repeat these animations in sequence, following the entire path of the ball. Make sure the ball continues bouncing, spinning, and rolling along the conveyor system. And don't forget to include a rolling motion during the fall to give the animation a realistic and smooth finish. You can add rectangles to decorate the background. Feel free to choose any style you like, depending on your visual taste. Alternatively, you can replace them with an image if you prefer a more customized background. Now, we open a new slide to add the player who will throw the ball. For that, we'll need ChatGPT to generate an image of the player in 3 different positions. I'll include the prompt for generating the player in the video description below, so you can try it out yourself. Using an image editing program, like Photoshop for example, we'll separate the different poses into 3 individual images with a transparent background. Then, we'll save each image separately, so we can later insert them into the new slide. On the far left of the new slide, we place the 3 images in sequence. We then adjust their sizes so they match the player's scale in each pose, using the head size as a reference, to give the impression that it's the same player throughout. The animation here will be very simple. Each player will appear and then disappear in sequence, with the disappearance happening after the next player appears. The first player will only disappear, since we start with him, and the last player will only appear and remain visible until the end of the scene. To enhance the introduction, we can add a slight teeter effect to the first player at the beginning of the scene. Now, all that's left is to bring in the ball and launch it. We start by pasting a copy of the ball. And don't forget to change its animations as follows. First, apply an entrance effect to make the ball appear. Then, select the ball again, and go to Motion Path. Choose Lines, and set the ball to move diagonally upward at maximum speed. And of course, don't forget to remove the smooth start and end. Now, we'll copy all the components from the first slide and paste them into the new slide. Once pasted, we'll remove all animations by grouping the objects first and then ungrouping them after. Then, we'll resize the entire scene, turning it into a background so it frames both the player and the ball clearly. Finally, we go to the Transitions tab and select Morph to create a smooth transition between the two slides. The last step is to copy the final pose of the player, paste it into the next slide, and resize it to match the proportions of the conveyor system. If you enjoyed this lesson and learned something new, great! This is just the beginning. We've got more exciting technical content coming up. So don't forget to support the channel. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with others who love learning through motion and mechanics.